Certainly, as we've said throughout the service, this is obviously a tough time for people in our region and our world, and if we believe the statistics, and even if we hope that they're wrong, the truth is this pandemic will likely directly impact all of us in one way or another before it's over. And so the question is, how are we to live in these times? And if you're like me, living in these times, my first thought is, how am I to be a faithful follower of Jesus? How am I to be a faithful Christian? Because that relationship, that affects how I interact with my wife. That affects how we interact with our children and our grandchildren. That affects how I look at my job, how I look at my government leaders that the scriptures tell me were placed there by God, and so it has everything to say. And obviously, I think we want to be able to be strong for one another and for the world at large that's obviously very struggling. We know that it's hard for people like us who have faith, who have hope, who have an understanding of the call to love. And we can only imagine, and we can see that it's obviously much tougher for people who don't have that. And so, overall, we would say that in the scriptures, over and over again, we're told to be strong and to be courageous, and we're told that we can be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. If you went to the New Testament book of Ephesians and you turned to chapter 6 and kept reading, you would find a verse that says something like that: "Be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power." So the question is, how can we be strong in it and in His power? And I would say reflecting on His sufferings and reflecting on His cross is a good place for us to start. It just reminds us that He, the Lord Jesus, understands. He knew His purpose was to suffer on the cross for the sake of the world. And first point I would just make is an obvious one, and that is no one wants to suffer. No one gets up and says, "How can this day go wrong?" And everyone is hoping, as those statistics rise of this virus, everyone is hoping that no one they know, no one they're related to, will get this thing. We all want to avoid it, and that's the way we're wired. That's the way we're made. Even Jesus struggled with what he knew he had to do. He struggled with God's plan, and he understands our desire to avoid all of that. It's an interesting couple of phrases that we read. We read that he was troubled. Our New Living Translation said he was deeply, deeply troubled. And this is, the way this translation reads is, "Should I pray, Father, save me from this hour? But this is the very reason I came." Some translations, some interpreters say, maybe a better way to say it is, "Father, save me from this hour." Not a question, but please do. And if that's the interpretation, that really wouldn't be any different than the prayer he prayed in Gethsemane when he says, "Father, if it's your will, let this cup pass from me. Let me not have it, but not your will, but mine be done." And whether it's a question or not, the fact is he came to the conclusion that no, this is your plan. This is the hour I came. And I'm troubled. I'm in acute emotional distress. I'm troubled, but got to go through it. And so he says, no, I came for this hour, glorify your name. And then he hears a voice, and those with ears to hear said it was thunder, and they somehow connected the dots. Even today, when things happen, some people look at that and they say, oh, wasn't that a coincidence? And wasn't that just luck? Or wasn't that just weird? And other people would say, that have eyes to see and ears to hear, they would say, no, God is up to something. God is doing something. God is speaking. And it was the same way here. Some said it was thunder, and some had another explanation. But he says, no, it was in fact for your benefit. And he said, look, I'm going to suffer. I just pray that suffering brings glory and honor to you. And really, as we think about suffering, we're called to do the same thing. It's to somehow say, Lord, as a result of this difficult time, I just pray that you're better known, that somehow you're honored through my life and not dishonored. Practical application. Is there a shortage of toilet paper? Yeah? People have gone through, I forget which day it was, and Terry went to the store, and I think you said none at that time, BJ's, Walmart, whatever. And then we went to Highland Park, and there were like 10 packages left. So yes, in a very real sense, there is a shortage of toilet paper. Is it because there isn't enough to go around? No, there's plenty. There's plenty. If everyone has what they actually needed, we'd be fine. No, there's no real shortage of toilet paper. There's a shortage of courage. There's a shortage of willingness to put others first. There's too much me first. There's too much of a survival mentality. There's too much of, I'll fill my cart and I don't care whether you get a roll or not. There's too much of that. And so, but we need more of the Spirit of Jesus, who said, let it be your way, God. Let me get enough, and let me be sure that my neighbor, who may not even be able to get out to the store, let me make sure that they have enough as well. Someone after the service said, are we talking about instead of feeding the 5,000, providing toilet paper for the 5,000? And we just wanna be there and help. Someone after the service at 9:30 said, during World War II, her mother was part of a little community, and in World War II they had actual rationing, and they told people, one loaf of bread is all you get, one thing of eggs is all you get. Well, the women that were in that community would buy all that they were allotted, and then they would get together and they'd put it like all on the table. And some of them said, I got a dozen eggs, but I don't need a dozen eggs. And someone else said, well, actually, I got a dozen eggs, but it wasn't nearly enough. And so they shared, and so they made sure that there was enough for everyone. That's really the Spirit of Christ. We just need more of that. And we can't expect people who don't share our faith to live our faith. Can we? Really? But we can ourselves, and that's what we're called to do. Even in these times. No one wants to suffer. And then we remind ourselves that through his death, Jesus defeated the devil, who we don't talk about very much, and he showed God's love. In every time, particularly in tough ones, people battle fear and they question God. And Jesus said a very interesting thing. He said, the time for judging this world has come, when Satan the ruler of this world will be cast out, will be thrown out. And what he was getting at is this, that as a result of the Garden of Eden, real quick in the Garden of Eden, everybody was living forever. There was no sickness. Everything was happy there. And there were two trees in the middle. Do you remember there were two trees in the middle of the Garden of Eden? One was the tree of life that they could freely have and they would live forever. And the other was the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And they were commanded not to eat that one. They could touch it. Eve said they couldn't touch it. They could touch it. But one day, the serpent, the devil masquerading as a serpent, came along and said, why don't you eat this one? And they said, well, no, God said if we eat it, we'll die. And the serpent said, you're not going to die. You're not going to die. And so they got thinking and they thought, well, maybe the serpent was right. Maybe God was wrong. And it turned out that in any case, this fruit actually looked good. It smelled good. And they took it and they found out it tasted good. And then they found out that what God had said was true, and that introduced a set of dominoes that fell one after the other, after the other, after the other, and the bottom line is death reigned. And every person on the planet before then, no one was afraid of death. They didn't have to worry about death. But everyone who's ever come into the world since then has had at one level this fear of this life ending, which was never God's plan. Jesus came along and said, look, as a result of my death, as a result of the fact that God said, go to the cross, and as a result of the fact that I didn't say no, as a result of the fact that I said yes, now death is permanently defeated, and we can live with hope. Incredibly important. Incredibly important. Since the children share flesh and blood, he himself likewise shared the same things, so that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is, the devil, and free those who all their lives were held in slavery by their fear of death. Through him, we can face the worst that life delivers with peace and with hope and with courage. Does that make sense? And sometimes people wonder, does God really love me? I got sick. Does God really love me? I messed up. Does God still love me? And then we go and we just point to the lit cross and we said, well, that settles it. God does care. God does love me. God went to the cross. People had their backs turned from him, were rejecting him, and he said, I love you. And when people really understand that message, and people don't, by the way, people don't. I'm convinced that if people really understood how much God radically loves them just the way they are, that many more would come to him. And Jesus said it was the way. He said, when I'm lifted up from the earth, when I'm lifted up and people truly understand how much I love them, it'll have a magnetic quality and they'll be drawn to him. God proves his love for us that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. So that's two. One more point. Are you up for one more point, or you just want to? Yeah, John, we're just going to leave. Anyway, obviously it's a difficult time. In dark times, choose the light. In dark times, choose the light. Very difficult time, very dark time. For many people, it feels like the night. We're wondering when the lights will come back on. We wonder when we'll wake from this nightmare. And so before I make any applications, I just had this thought last night. You know, sometimes when we're applying Scripture, our first thought is, well, how does this apply to the way I live into this world? And how does this apply to my interactions with society or government? And I think that there's a place for that, and there's a time for that, and there's a need for that. But I would say to you that at other times, the fact is that we need to remember this. At the end of this service, things are going to be just the way they were as when we entered. The world is going to be just the same. But if during this time, somehow God speaks to you or to me, if the Holy Spirit gets in touch with us, if God speaks during this times, the world may not be different, but I will be and you will be. And if we're different, then maybe, just maybe, God can use us to make a difference in this world. And so I would say to you, it's easy to say, how does this apply out there? It's tough to say, how does this apply in here? And Jesus said to us, look, and the NLT makes it abundantly clear. He says, my light will shine for you for just a little longer. And he was, in that sense, he was talking about his imminent death. Walk in the light while you can, so the darkness will not overtake you. Walk in the light. Walk in the light. Live this. Live this faith. We say we pray, pray. We say we're people of the Bible, read it. We say we need each other, keep in touch with other people of faith. Live it, practice it, walk in it. He goes on to say, put your trust in the light while there's still time. You know, I've heard of people who at one time in their life were very open and they were very interested. And for many people that was childhood, and for others that was adolescence. But there are some people who there was a time where life just got hard. And they got hard and they got cold, and suddenly their openness wasn't there anymore. So while you feel like you want to believe and you feel a pull to believe and a nudge to believe, trust Him, and continue to trust Him through this time. Live in the light. There's so much darkness, and He says, live in the light. Walk in the light. Live this thing out. Trust Him through it. He'll see us through. We can trust Him. Do you believe that? 3 of you do? Let's pray. Oh Lord, this is hard. This is very hard. There's a part of us that when things are scarce, we want to just make sure we're okay. We understand that. There's a part of us absolutely that's scared of this. We'd be crazy to say we weren't. But Lord, we can trust You, and we do trust You. And help us as a result of trusting You to make a difference for You, to be people of hope, to be people of love during this time. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.